Howard, let me tell you something I saw last month. A 72-year-old woman came into my clinic in Tokyo. She said she woke up, looked in the mirror, and thought her face had aged 10 years overnight.
I know that moment well. The shock, the confusion, that feeling of, when did this happen? I've seen it so many times.
She wasn't sleeping poorly, she wasn't sick, her skin wasn't failing. Her fascia, the thin layer under the skin, was tightening in all the wrong directions. And that created deep lines that looked permanent.
But here's the twist. By the next morning, those same lines were softened. She didn't use creams. She didn't use lasers. She used a simple Japanese face taping method to retrain tension in her facial muscles while she slept. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Howard Tucker. I've spent decades in longevity medicine helping seniors look younger, feel stronger, and age with confidence. And today's topic is something very real, very practical, and surprisingly effective. Sitting with me is someone who has watched aging evolve for over a century. Japan's iconic physician and longevity expert, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Howard. And thank you to every senior listening. This conversation matters because wrinkles after 60 are not just skin changes. They are tension patterns, habit patterns, muscle fatigue patterns. And the beauty is, patterns can be retrained.
That's the key. Seniors think wrinkles are caused only by time. But science shows something different. Microtension in the facial muscles pulls the skin downward every night. When that tension is released or redirected, the skin appears smoother, sometimes overnight.
Exactly, and the Japanese face taping method works because it changes those tension signals gently while you sleep. No stretching, no pulling, just guiding the skin back into alignment.
In this episode, we're going to walk you through how this method works, why it's backed by real physiology, and what to expect if you try it. We won't reveal everything right here, because I want you to stay with us. But I will say this. If you've noticed sagging cheeks, deep smile lines, or those stubborn folds beside the mouth, the solution may be far simpler than you think.
Stay with us. You may discover that your skin isn't aging as fast as you believe. It might just be waiting for the right signal.
So doctor, before we teach seniors how the face taping method works, we need to explain the real cause of these deeper wrinkles after 60, because most people think it's just lost collagen, but that's only part of the story.
Yes, Howard, collagen drops every year after 50. But what most seniors don't know is that the direction of the pull under the skin changes too. The fascia stiffens, the muscles shorten, and the skin begins to follow the tension, not the age.
Right. And this matches what I see in my clinic. Two seniors can be the same age, same lifestyle, same health, but one has deep folds and the other doesn't. And it's because their facial tension patterns are totally different.
Exactly. And here's the science. Studies from Japan's Aichi Medical University show that after 60, the SMAS layer, the supportive layer under the skin, becomes less elastic. When that layer stiffens, the skin above it creases faster, especially during sleep.
And seniors sleep on the same side for years. The cheek folds, the jaw rotates forward, the muscles pull inward, so the skin basically molds into the pressure.
Yes, and that's why people wake up with deeper lines than they had the night before. It's not aging, it's overnight compression plus decades of muscle habits.
I always tell my patients, your face remembers your posture. It remembers your expressions. It remembers your sleep position. These little repetitions shape the skin.
Let me give you an example. A senior woman came to me worried about her nasolabial folds. She thought she needed injections, but when we examined her muscles, her zygomatic muscles, the ones that lift the cheeks, were tight and overworked. They were pulling the skin downward instead of upward.
That's so important because it means the wrinkle wasn't from sagging. It was from shortening.
Exactly. And that is why the Japanese face taping method works. It doesn't stretch the skin. It interrupts the tension. It teaches the muscle to relax while the fascia resets.
So the tape doesn't pull your skin back like a facelift. It gently guides the skin where it naturally wants to be.
Yes. And when seniors hear the word tape, they imagine harsh pulling. But in Japan, our method uses microtension, tiny corrections, not big ones. Enough to tell the brain, relax this area, release that grip.
I love that because it means seniors don't have to fight aging. They just have to redirect the signals.
And after 60, that's the secret. Not more force, more awareness.
All right, doctor, everyone is waiting for this part. Let's walk seniors through how the Japanese face taping method actually works. Not the social media shortcuts, not the harsh pulling techniques, but the real therapeutic version used in Japanese clinics.
Yes, Howard. First, people must understand this. Japanese face taping is not about stretching the skin. It is about teaching the facial muscles to relax. When the muscle softens, the wrinkle softens. That is the foundation.
So the tape is like a whisper to the muscle, not a tug on the skin.
Exactly. You place a small, breathable kinesiology strip on areas that hold tension. The tape lifts the skin slightly, only millimeters. That small lift increases blood flow, reduces pressure on the fascia, and sends a signal to the nervous system. Release.
That makes sense. Seniors often don't realize their face is holding stress the same way their shoulders do. The forehead tightens, the jaw clenches, the cheeks pull inward. All of that deepens wrinkles.
Yes. In Japan, we map the face like a muscle network. The forehead lines, the 11 lines, the crow's feet, the smile folds, each is linked to a specific tension pattern. The tape interrupts the pattern. That is why the effect can be seen even after one night.
Walk us through the simplest version. Imagine a senior at home. No experience. What is the first area they should target?
The most effective starting point is the nasolabial folds, the smile line. You cut a tiny strip of tape, about the length of your thumb. You gently smooth the fold upward toward the cheekbone with your fingers. Then you place the tape along that path, not pulling, just guiding.
So the tape holds the relaxed position, not a stretched one.
Correct. If you stretch, the muscle fights back. If you guide, the muscle follows. When done properly, the tape feels like nothing. Seniors should still be able to talk, smile, and sleep comfortably.
What about the forehead? That's a common trouble spot after 60.
For the forehead, we use horizontal strips across the lines. But again, the goal is not to immobilize. It is to soften the frontalis muscle, the muscle that tightens every time we raise the eyebrows. When the muscle relaxes, the lines fade naturally.
And there's a science behind this. Kinesiology tape increases microcirculation and decreases mechanical load on the fascia. That's what helps the skin reset overnight.
Exactly. It is gentle biomechanics, nothing extreme, nothing artificial, just guiding the face back into balance.
And I love that seniors can do this without needles, without creams, and without complicated equipment.
Yes, because when the tension releases, the skin reveals the softness it always had beneath it.
Doctor, this is the part seniors really need to hear. Because the method sounds simple, but the reason it works is surprisingly scientific. Most people think wrinkles sit on the surface, but the real action is happening underneath.
Exactly, Howard. Wrinkles are not skin problems, they are muscle and fascia problems. The skin only follows what is happening below it. When a muscle stays tight for years, the fascia stiffens, and the skin folds into that shape.
And after 60, those muscles don't bounce back the same way. They hold on to tension longer. They recover slower, so the folds deepen.
Correct, and here's where the tape becomes powerful. When you place the tape gently on the skin, it lifts the surface just enough to create space. That space increases lymphatic flow, increases blood flow, and reduces mechanical pressure on the fascia.
So the tape doesn't stretch the wrinkle out. It changes the environment underneath the wrinkle.
Yes. And when the pressure decreases, the fascia begins to rehydrate. A hydrated fascia layer glides. A dehydrated fascia layer wrinkles. This is why seniors sometimes feel their face becomes stiff with age. It is literally stuck.
That's such an important point. The skin isn't failing. The glide system beneath the skin is restricted.
Exactly. In Japan, we call this kuzure, tension collapse. The tape reverses it by guiding the fascia into a healthier resting shape. It teaches the muscle to release instead of contract, and when the muscle relaxes, the skin softens.
This matches the research we've seen in kinesiology. The tape decompresses the tissue and creates a micro pull that tells the brain the area is safe. And when the brain feels safe, the muscle lets go.
Yes, safety is everything. A tense muscle is a protective muscle. A relaxed muscle is a youthful muscle. The tape communicates safety to the nervous system without any force.
And that's why results can happen overnight. Seniors aren't changing their skin. They're releasing tension patterns that have been holding the skin hostage.
Well said. And remember this, Howard. Wrinkles deepen because muscles tug downward. Face taping interrupts that tug. It allows the tissue to float, not drag.
Which means seniors aren't fighting age. They're removing friction.
Exactly. And that is why this method feels natural. It works with the body, not against it.
Doctor, now that seniors understand how face taping works, the next big question is timing. When should they use it? Where should they place it? Because doing it right makes all the difference.
Yes, Howard. And the truth is simple. The best time for face taping is during sleep. Not during the day, not during chores, but during the hours when the face is naturally still. That stillness allows the fascia to reset without fighting expressions.
That makes sense. During the day, we talk, chew, smile, frown. At night, the muscles finally quiet down. So the tape has the perfect opportunity to retrain the tension pattern.
Exactly. Sleep is when micro-corrections happen fastest. The body is repairing, the fascia is hydrating, the circulation is improving. Adding tape during this window creates the ideal environment for visible overnight softening.
And seniors don't need to tape the entire face, right? Just key areas depending on their tension pattern.
Correct. The most effective areas to tape are the nasolabial folds, the marionette lines near the corners of the mouth, the cheeks, and the forehead lines. These are the areas where tension builds the strongest after 60.
Let's talk about each one briefly, starting with the smile lines, the nasolabial folds.
Yes, for those lines, a small strip angled upward from the fold toward the cheekbone lifts the tension point. This stops the muscle from pulling downward during the night.
And the marionette lines, those deep corners near the mouth that often make seniors look tired or sad.
For those, the tape goes diagonally upward toward the ear, again not pulling, just guiding the corner of the mouth away from tension. This prevents the downward drag that deepens the fold.
What about the forehead? Many seniors feel the lines above the eyebrows are the hardest to soften.
That's where horizontal taping is used. Short strips placed across the wrinkle lines slow the overactive frontalis muscle. They remind the muscle to stay peaceful. When the muscle stays peaceful, the lines fade.
So placement is about direction, not force. Upward for folds, horizontal for forehead lines, gentle for all.
Exactly. And seniors should always test small areas first to see where their face holds the most tension. The body will tell them. They just have to observe.
What about frequency? How often should they tape?
3 to 5 nights per week is ideal. Not every night. The skin and fascia need breaks. This rhythm is enough to retrain the tension pattern without overwhelming the tissue.
So it's like exercise. Rest days make the results better.
Yes, because the fascia changes during the rest as much as during the taping.
Doctor, I think this is the section that will save seniors the most frustration, because every new technique comes with mistakes, and face taping is no different. If they skip this part, they'll blame the method instead of the error.
Yes, Howard. And the biggest mistake is pulling the tape too hard. Seniors see videos online and think they need to stretch the skin, but stretching creates resistance. It makes the muscle tighten, not relax. The tape should guide, not yank.
Exactly. I see this with patients who say the tape made their face feel stiff. When tape feels uncomfortable, it's being applied with too much tension.
Correct. The next mistake is using the wrong tape. Some people use rigid medical tape or strong adhesive bands. Those irritate the skin, especially after 60 when the skin barrier becomes thinner. Only soft, breathable kinesiology tape should be used.
That's important. Seniors often have delicate skin, and harsh adhesives can cause redness, micro tears, or irritation.
Yes. And another mistake is taping too large an area. Beginners cover half the cheek or forehead. That overwhelms the fascia. We want micro corrections, tiny strips, precise placement.
Small movements create big changes. That's something seniors understand well.
Exactly. Another mistake is taping every night without rest. The fascia needs time to adapt. If they tape too often, the tissue becomes fatigued, and the results slow down.
So the ideal rhythm is still 3 to 5 nights per week?
Yes, enough to retrain the tension pattern, but not enough to overwork the tissue. Just like exercise, recovery accelerates results.
Let's address another common issue, taping over active contractions. Some seniors talk a lot in the evening. They tape while watching TV, smiling and laughing, and the tape starts to lose its purpose.
Yes, the tape works best when muscles are quiet. That is why nighttime taping is ideal. The face stays neutral. The nervous system is calmer. The fascia softens naturally.
What about sleep positions? Many seniors sleep on their side. Does that affect results?
It does. If someone presses their face deeply into the pillow, the tape can fold or peel. I tell seniors to use a soft, low-pressure pillow or shift slightly toward their back during the first few nights. After that, the result can hold even with side sleeping.
And the last mistake I see is expecting the tape to replace hydration or care. The skin still needs water, the fascia still needs movement.
Exactly. Face taping is a guide, not a cure-all. But when used correctly, it reveals a softness most people thought they had lost.
Doctor, as we come to the close of this conversation, I keep thinking about something you said earlier. Wrinkles aren't failures of age. They're messages. They're stories in the tissue. And when we understand the story, we can change how it's written.
Yes, Howard. And that is the beauty of this method. Seniors often believe the only solutions are harsh ones: injections, lasers, or surgeries. But sometimes the body responds best to the smallest signal: a gentle lift, a quiet correction, a moment of release.
I've seen this again and again. Seniors show me before and after photos, expecting me to comment on the lines. But what I notice first is something else entirely: the calm in their expression, the softness around the eyes, the sense that their face is finally at ease.
Exactly. When the muscles calm, people look more like themselves, not younger in a forced way, younger in a natural way, as if the tension finally let go and revealed the person underneath.
And that's what this episode is really about. Reclaiming control. Not over aging, but over tension, over habits, over the way the face holds everyday stress without us noticing.
Yes, and seniors should know this. Your skin has not forgotten how to smooth. Your fascia has not forgotten how to glide. Your muscles have not forgotten how to rest. They simply need the right signal to remember.
And the face taping method is one of the simplest signals we have. Gentle, safe, effective, designed for the aging face, not against it.
I hope everyone listening understands this. The goal is not perfection. The goal is comfort, balance, softness. When the face feels supported, the mind relaxes. And when the mind relaxes, the entire expression changes.
Doctor, before we wrap up, I want to leave seniors with one thought. You don't have to fight age to look better. You just have to work with your body instead of against it. Small habits, soft corrections, gentle reminders.
Yes, Howard. And sometimes the smallest reminder, a tiny piece of tape, can reopen pathways the face thought it had forgotten. It shows the tissue a different way to rest. And once it learns, it keeps learning.
That's the quiet power behind all of this. Not dramatic changes, not overnight miracles, just a steady return to ease.
And that journey is only beginning.